I used to dread sewing darts. It didn't matter how well and how carefully I pinned the darts. Every time I ended up with a dart with a seam line that didn't match up on both sides. That was until I discovered the method that changed everything. The answer isn't perfect pin placement, it actually is making sure that you transfer the dart correctly. And there is a knack. Instead of taking a painstakingly long time pinning the fabric, I will show you how to transfer the markings correctly to make this process a little bit easier. And I'll show you the method of how to transfer and sew and press the dart to achieve a perfectly balanced uneven dart. The first step is dart transfer. But before we go into how to transfer the dart, you need to prep the pattern. Yes, pattern, not the fabric. It doesn't matter whether you're using a self-drafted pattern or a pattern that you have bought. What I'm going to show you, you can apply to both. So first you need to make holes where the dart points are. You can do that using either scissors or a hole puncher. I prefer using a hole puncher because it's easy. However, you probably don't have it and you do not need to rush to a store to buy one. You can actually just use the scissors. Now that the pattern is prepared, you can transfer it to your fabric. And this is easy now. You just rub a soap or a chalk over the holes to transfer the markings, and then you connect them with a ruler. If you have a curved dart, you can draw a line with a French curve, and you do not need to worry about matching both sides because when you're sewing you only need to use one side. The trick here for a perfect dart is connecting the dart tips with a straight line or a dart tip and the center of the base. This line will be the guideline on how to fold the fabric to sew a dart. The next step in executing a perfect dart is sewing it correctly. And one of the critical points on getting the dart looking professional is sewing the tip correctly. There are two methods that I'm going to show you today. One, and my preferred method, is backstitching at the tip. Yes, I know you're going to scream at me because, well, that surely is going to add the bulk and make the seam thicker. Yes and no. If you're backstitching within the dart allowance, it does not add extra bulk for most of the fabrics, and you don't have to waste time tying the ends. However, if you're using a light fabric, you can tie off the ends instead of sewing it. On this method, I don't use very often. I prefer to backstitch because it works every time. However, if your fabric is very flimsy or very see-through, the tying off method will be the best option. There's a slight difference on how you're sewing the dart depending on whether it's an open or a closed dart. For an open dart, you start sewing from the dart base towards the tip and then you backstitch or tie off the end. But for the closed tip, you can either sew it from tip to tip or from the center to the tip and turn your project the other way around and sew to the other tip. Here you have to be careful that you don't leave any gap between your sewing so that gap doesn't appear on the finished garment. Most of the time I would sew from the tip to tip because I find it easier. However, again, going back to that see-through or flimsy fabric, the backstitching can be a pain. This probably is the only time when I would tie off the end on my projects. All the best things come in threes. So the third step that you definitely do not want to overlook is pressing the dart. Yes, most sewing is all about the pressing and you will spend more time pressing than sewing, but I bet you already knew that. Firstly, you need to press the stitching as sewn. This will blend your stitch line with the fabric and will make the dart perfectly smooth on both sides without twisting or turning. And then depending on whether you've got a horizontal or vertical dart, you need to press it either to the center or down. So for a vertical dart, press them all down towards the hem, and for all the vertical darts, such as bust darts that goes through the waist, you press them towards the center. The most efficient tool to use for pressing the darts, because they're curved, is using the tailor's ham. Quite often my tailor's ham grows legs, and in those situations when I can't find it, because I bet my daughter has taken it, I would roll up a towel and try to use that instead. The result is not as nice and neat as a tailor's ham, but it's still doable. It's still a better outcome than trying to iron it on a flat surface. So as you can see, the pin placement, where you probably have spent the same amount of time as me trying to get them perfectly, does not actually lead to a better dart. So next time, instead of trying to waste your time painstakingly pinning the fabric, make the markings. Yes, I know it is an additional step, but it will make the sewing experience so much more enjoyable. I know that you enjoy the sewing anyway, but you know, you will not stab yourself too much. Using this method has led to less frustrating experience and neater darts that I'm not too worried about whether they match up on both sides, because that method will always render a perfect dart. This video is part of my shirt sewing series, and it is the second video in that installment. And if you liked this one, you may want to go back to my previous one where I show you how to sew a perfect button stand. I'll see you over there. Happy sewing!